What is up, YouTube world? I'm here with a heavy video today, so it might have a trigger warning for some of you, but I feel like I've been wanting to make this video for a while. Like I said, nothing's new under the sun, so you might have heard this information before, but I feel like we need to have a discussion about this in the comments. This video is not about hating black people. It's not about denying racism, and it's not about blaming everything on culture. It's about how certain learned behaviors passed down over time can quietly work against our long-term interests. If you love something, you're willing to be honest about it. And this is one of those conversations. Before we go any further, I want to set some ground rules. Black people are not a monolith. Culture is learned. It is not genetic. Critiquing behavior is not an attack on identity. And lastly, accountability and empathy can exist at the same time. If any of this bothers you, this video is not for you, and I suggest that you click off of it right now. Point 1, anti-intellectualism and cool over competent. In some of our environments, being smart can be labeled as corny, soft, or acting white. This is something that we need to discuss in point 1. Because of this, intelligence in some of our cultural spaces could be something that's hidden instead of openly allowed to flourish. Discipline can become uncool. You know, from when I was a kid, sometimes if you were like seen as a brainiac or a nerd, you would get made fun of because you're intelligent, or people would say that you're acting or talking white. In this case, long-term thinking loses to short-term validation. The problem isn't confidence or swagger, it's when image replaces substance. When we look at other communities, we see that other communities tend to reward preparation, tend to reward long-term thinking. Point number 2, glorifying struggle instead of escaping it. There's a difference between honoring resilience and romanticizing hardship. When struggle becomes your identity, growth can also feel like betrayal. There's been times where, I came from a certain walk of life and, I'm doing my best to elevate per se, and I lose friends because of that. I lose people who kind of turn their back on me because of I may have went to school, or I might be trying to target a certain type of job. And that's something that's all too common in our community. It might also just be the group of friends that I've hung around. Also, when pain becomes credibility, healing can feel fake. Hustle culture can seem empowering, get money, but if it doesn't lead to health, mental stability, ownership, and financial stability, we're just hustling just to hustle. If we're just spending our money on random things that don't equal ownership, what's the overall outcome of that? So if we're just hustling and it doesn't equal long-term stability, we're just dressing up the struggle per se. Point number 3, the distrust of systems, structure, and consistency. Because institutions have historically failed us as black people, we have a natural distrust of them. And this is something that's understandable. But distrusting of all institutions, long-term planning, routines can hurt us as a people in the long run. Wealth, health, and influence are built through long-term, boring, repeatable systems. And this isn't glamorous at all. This is not a vibe, this is something that you do when nobody's around. This is studying for that final. This is, learning something in technology or whatever your field is. This is not glamorous. It's not hustle culture, and it's not motivation, motivation type stuff, like the stuff that we see on YouTube nowadays. Point number 4, we got to make sure that we do not outsource our responsibility. Yes, racism is real and it is here. Yes, history does matter. But when external forces become the only explanation, internal power disappears. The most dangerous belief isn't that the system is unfair. It's that you are powerless to work with inside of it. So this is not about blame. None of this makes us weak. It makes us human. It makes us respond to incentives presented to us over time. And we have to think about the history of our plight in America. So what does replacement look like? Chris, what are the answers? Let's talk about some of them. Let's replace some of these earlier narratives with some of the ones that follow. Discipline is respected and not mocked. Intelligence is visible and not hidden. Stability is celebrated and not shamed. Healing is strength and not softness. Planning is power. This isn't about acting like anyone else. It's about choosing what truly works. In summary, critiquing isn't betrayal. Accountability isn't self-hate. Growth isn't selling out. The question isn't about who did this to us. It's about what we keep and what we let go. Because the next version of Black culture is being written right now by what we reward, repeat, and defend. If this made you uncomfortable, sit with that. If this made you think, share it. If this made you angry, ask why. Peace.